Well, good morning, everybody, and how are you? It's just me and Jeannie backstage hanging out, getting ready for the show. A real Canadian. Everyone say good morning to Jeannie. We got Pat K in the house, Denise in the house, True Crime Beat, Chrissy. Now, I invited Kent to come on again. I don't know that he's even seen my message. Let's look. See. He might still be in bed. Does Kent appear to be one of those that sleeps in a lot? I don't know. Jeannie, do you know? Jeannie is muted.
Oh, hi. No, I have no idea. I don't know.
Look at that. Crime Time Connie just put in a $20 super sticker minus a penny. My goodness, Crime Time Connie, thank you so much for that. Boy, this channel needed that pick me up. Now, where's Kent? Speaking of pick me ups. Well, a lot of stuff's been going on since last Wednesday, you all. Old Daniel, he has been spilling his goodness into all the Facebook groups for Jack and Lily. I mean, he's kind of like the Kool-Aid man. Have you noticed, Jeannie? Because I know I've been blowing your phone up with all his stuff.
Yeah, he's replying to a lot of people.
He's got a lot going on. And then there was a woman that she just let me give you some examples.
Yeah.
And see where I'm going with this. Her name is Chrissy Travers. I'm not doxing anyone. She has put her thumbprint on the case that is known as Jack and Lily's disappearance.
Yeah.
Now let me give you guys some comparisons and you'll pick up on this. Think the Canadian version of Jody Sue Brown, Lana Westbrook, Tim Mullen, Tony Mathis, and a few people that hung around the Daybell crowd. So I'm going to start calling her Chrissy Sue Brown. Are we good with that? CBS?
Yeah,
CBS? CBS. Chris. Oh, no, I'm doing it wrong. It would be CSB. Chrissy Sue Brown. Okay. So we'll get to her too because she thinks I'm upset that she won't be my friend on Facebook.
I know.
It took a while for Jeannie to counsel me through that. Yes.
It did. Yeah. You were pretty upset.
I was. Is this going to be more of a therapy session today as opposed to true crime? I have to get through this. Let's tell everybody good morning, and especially to our new friend, Chrissy Sue Brown. Well, look at that. Anna, thank you so much. She said, I have been loving all of your coverage of the cases. Thank you. Well, thank you. Cat OG. Ooh, hi, everyone. This stream showed as YouTube recommended. Looks like I'm in the right place. Oh, you are, Cat. You are always in the right place. I just love Cat to death. I had a lot of fun with Cat overnight from across the pond. You know, the Atlantic Ocean separates us. And I couldn't sleep, and I was in a lot of different political conversations. So I just started randomly tagging Cat and telling people that Cat loves America so much that she has a Michelle Obama blow-up doll. I signed her up for some free MAGA hats. I think I got her a Ron Paul sticker she can put on her pink car. It was a lot of fun. And when they all realize that she's from England, I have a feeling I'm going to be down a few groups. But that's okay. That's okay, right, Jeannie?
Right. That's good.
That's good. All right, I'm going to blame it on my new friend, Chrissy Travers. So first, let's give everybody a little bit of a history lesson on Chrissy Travers.
Yeah, let's do that. So Chrissy Travers was employed with Please Bring Me Home as a PI. Now, the organization Please Bring Me Home, they only do cold cases, like something that, a case from 2, 3, 4 years ago. Okay. Yeah. They use their PI for that. not a police investigation. If the
No.
police are investigating, I'll give a perfect example, Jack and Lily, right? It's an ongoing investigation, okay?
And they don't want to interfere in the investigation.
Absolutely.
So I have their website up. They're cool people. It shows on there how to contact them, which I did. They have their own donations and fundraising, which is needed because it does cost money to search, got to put some fuel in the tank. Submit a case. Now, most of their cases are cold. Actually, all of them are cold cases. They do not want to interfere with the RCMP, and they're not going to mess with anything in America, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And so all of their cases, actually, I was thinking about what's the girl's name? Madison Boudreaux. Am I saying it right?
Yes. Yes.
That might be one that they could get into.
I had thought about that.
Well, this just hit me, Jeannie. It just hit me. That's what happens when I'm brokenhearted over friendship. So I contacted them and I said, "Is she your private investigator?" I was kind of put to the assumption that they'd never heard of her. Well, what it is, and she's manipulating Belinda. Yes, that is my opinion, and that is what I'm saying. She has got this woman convinced that she is working with an attorney and that she is a private investigator for this attorney. Okay? Now then, Jeannie, who is a real Canadian, explains something to me. If you are licensed to practice the law in Alberta, can you just go and practice the law in Nova Scotia, Jeannie?
You have 100 days to practice law in Nova Scotia, and after that 100 days, that's it.
Today is November 13th, and they have been missing since May 2nd. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to put up the screenshot from Belinda, who, by the way, I think is an amazing, amazing woman, and I feel very bad for her. I do.
Me too. My heart breaks for her. My heart literally breaks for her.
Hold on one second. This will not. It's done this to me before. Hold on. I'll be right back. I got to reset something. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Here we go. There it is. That's what I needed. Okay, so this is what Belinda, poor Belinda, posted. Because she's all up in this Chrissy Travers thing. Belinda Gray, for those that want to know, my lawyer has a PI working the case, and I was told I could release this statement. Chrissy Travers left. Please bring me home. She didn't. She actually misrepresented herself, according to them, not me, because she made it sound like, and they didn't know that much about Jack and Lily, it's something that she's been working on for a long time. Okay, so there's a lot of assumptions being made here, but when the assumption became crystal clear, they told her, no, you're not using our phones, our resources, our connections for an ongoing active investigation. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. This is not what is being relayed to Belinda Gray. It is not. And I think I think it's fair to say she's a very broken-hearted woman. How am I doing so far, Jeannie?
You're spot on.
Woo! All right. So Belinda says Chrissy Travers left PBMH. No, she didn't. After a disagreement. That's called getting shit canned, Chrissy. You see, when someone leaves after a disagreement, that means you lost. That means they told you to get the fuck out. No, anyone that leaves. Okay, here's a good one. Jeannie, I'm not divorced from my children's son, my son's father. We parted ways after a disagreement. No, you divorced. All right, so again, she left out of her own goodwill after all these lies and misrepresentations, according to them, after a disagreement. What's that sound like to you, Jeannie?
You're absolutely right.
All right. Immediately upon quitting, after the Disagreement. She was hired by Dalene's law firm, which allows her to operate at full capacity with less restrictions and greater authority. Please Bring Me Home has approved Chrissy continuing to work on the file, but not with them. There is no file there. Jack and Lily are not an open investigation in their office. Why is she telling this woman this? This woman is a grieving grandmother.
They have absolutely nothing to do with Chrissy anymore. That's it. They have nothing to do with her.
Mhm.
They have washed their hands of her.
Hold on. Did someone say potato chip cookies in here? Because those are some of my favorites. Sorry, I got off track here. Okay, so I try to clear it up with Belinda and say, this is what they said type of thing. Belinda's like, oh, I'm so sorry. These lies are going around. And I'm so sorry. No, she's a sweet lady. Whatever she wants to believe. Here comes Chrissy Travers. She tags me and says, crime lines and lies? Are you spreading lies about me because I won't accept your friend request? Oh my God. What? Nothing personal. It's just that I don't know you. Sorry. Let's read this again. This woman thinks that I am upset because she won't accept my Facebook request, which has nothing. It has fuck all to do with her. It has to do with Jack and Lily. So I feel really bad, about myself. I replied to her. I said, Chrissy Sue Brown. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I said, I am real ass hurt about not making a friend a gazillion miles away from me. Yeah, boo. I thought we were going to have lunch every day. Shoot. Guess I was mistaken. I was under the assumption you were out to help Jack and Lily. Be blessed, bitch. Fucking kidding me? Stupid. But Gaelic Girl's not stupid. Look what she did. Making it rain. All right, before we get Kent up here, I'm sure he'll come around in a second. Let's go to some of your comments from last week's show. All right, truth be told, speaking about Malaya, I've noticed in these comments, a lot of people are really not happy about the money Malaya's been collecting. Truth be told, say it really speaks volumes that she made no plea for her children. The only time she spoke was for donation money. Did anyone else notice that?
Yeah, she seems to perk up whenever there's money involved with Jack and Lily.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And it's kind of extra sweet that Daniel calls her out about it. What to do. Speaking of money, Sophia just left me a super sticker. She said, I'll make you a dozen potato chip cookies, Brooks, for Christmas. Oh my gosh. Don't tell Greg. Oh, I won't. Your secret's safe with me. I might let him roll in the crumbs because I love to eat in bed. Thank you so much. Okay, now See Legal Canada. This was very interesting to me. Said some of the cameras weren't working. And then went on to say there was a man in between Cody and Daniel. Who's the mystery pipe layer between Cody and Daniel? Why all this time was I under the impression that she left Cody and went straight to Daniel? Who's the dude in the middle that didn't want none of her bullshit? Does anybody know?
Nope. I have no idea. I didn't even know that he was in the middle. This Mr. guy.
Yeah, who I want to know.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that See Legal Canada comes on because I have a feeling this guy is he's going to be a little more unbiased than everyone else if he speaks out. You know what I mean? It's no secret that, Belinda has quite a sour taste in her mouth. Cody wouldn't piss on Malaya if she was on fire. All right? Then we get to Dumpster Dan the man. Don't think his ex is coming out of the woodwork to say, no, he's really a good guy. He's just really just lazy and, just likes trash everywhere. This guy would be totally more unbiased. That's just my opinion. Okay. Easy Banjo said, I can't wait until next week when Ken's back. Well, I don't know where the hell Ken's at. Maybe he will pop in. All right. Daphne's Case Files. Is that a YouTube channel? I think so.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
All right. Welcome, girlfriend. She said at 4711, actually, the dog handler is the RCMP, and they did find something. Does anybody know what the dogs found? Because all I have heard over and over and over and over was nothing.
I never heard that they found anything neither.
I would love to know.
Me too.
All we've been hearing about is the other half of this pink blanket. What else did they find? So if anybody knows anything about this, again, we're here for Jack and Lily. I'm not writing a book.
I mean, I heard that the searchers found a sticker, but I never heard anything about the dog handlers finding anything.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. Okay, so Kent was really wanting us to study these news clips of when they called off the search. Okay. So I'm going to go back in time a little bit, and then I need to continue with some things because my Facebook is going crazy with my ex-best friend from Canada, Chrissy Travers. So first, let's go through this. Really fucked me up.
Nova Scotia's RCMP has scaled back its week-long investigation for 2 missing children.
We're transitioning from a full-scale search to searches of more specific spaces that have already been searched by our teams. We're not packing up, and we're not giving up. Our investigation is broad, and it won't end until we...
Okay, so what I'm getting is we're not going to be so much on the ground. We're switching this to more of an investigation. So, Kent's been dropping these hints and these bombs and this trail mix around the internet. What exactly is said when they called off the physical search the first time that is supposed to answer all these questions? Because I do not believe for a minute that Malaya is hiding those 2 babies anywhere. I just don't. Now, if she's breaking down at the Dollar General because she sees toys that they like, well, that'd be called a normal reaction. Yeah. But no, at this point in the game, they're not hidden out anywhere. Okay.
No.
I don't care if she had 20 burner phones. By now, they would get the gist of the dialogue and that they are somewhere else. Something else happened, and I'm really laser focused on that Thursday night.
Yeah.
Didn't even need Daniel to slip and boo-boo to everyone and say, well, they told me the RCMP, as he's like scratching his temple, they thought I did something, I killed him on Thursday night and then, called the next day. He said it a little more fluid me than that. And I was like, do what? They said,
well,
what you?
The cadaver dogs called him out and said that they believe that something happened Thursday night to him.
Yeah. Not a good look.
No, really.
No.
We know where Lily and Jack are and can bring them home.
6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing on Friday, May 2nd. The children's mother and stepfather believe the 2 either wandered from their home in Lansdowne Station in Nova Scotia. Helicopters, drones, and tracking dogs have been used in the search, but no signs of the children have been found. So to explain more about this ongoing investigation, I'm joined this morning by Chris Lewis. He's CTV's public safety analyst and former OPP commissioner. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
There's so many questions still around both this investigation and this mystery around what happened to these 2.
What does OPP stand for? And I don't mean the rap song, you know. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? What does it mean?
OPP, I think, is Ontario Police. The Ontario Police, the OPP.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. All right. Gotcha.
Young children. Yesterday,
Hemi said Ontario Provincial Police.
Police, yes.
And
Ontario.
I dropped the link for anybody that wants to come up and dry my tears about me losing my soon-to-be best friend, Chrissy Travers, that also goes by Chrissy Sue Brown. So yeah, grab the link. Come on up.
the RCMP announcing they've scaled back their search. They said they're going to be circling back on areas that have been looked at before. So what does that tell you, this move signal at this stage of the investigation?
Well, yeah, thanks for having me, Anne-Marie. There's a couple of things at play here. Either the police know more than we do, which is quite likely, particularly from an investigative perspective, things they're not saying. It was very, very clear yesterday in the press conference that the staff sergeant in charge of the investigative side of this said there's things he couldn't say. At the same time, it's very, very intense and very thick area that they're searching, very difficult to traverse, even for trained adults, let alone children. So they've obviously made the decision that they don't believe the kids have got further than their perimeter, the area they've already searched. So they want to go back and research it.
Okay, so that might be what Kent is talking about, because that's really the only thing, the first time I heard it and now that stuck out to me, that they don't believe that they got too far away. Now, that doesn't mean that they're wandering out in the woods. That could mean that they were carried off on, say, an ATV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mr. Hemi said, do you all see a pattern? Took the words out of my mouth. I will start with, well, Mr. Hemi, if you want to grab the link and come up, do you see the pattern? Scaled back, but we're actively looking.
Yes.
And we don't feel that we need to go much further than this perimeter. That right there is 101. They're not telling you what they know. But I have a feeling they're popping popcorn every time someone goes, Daniel's live.
Yep.
So, Annette, what all did Daniel have to say last night? I'll let her type that in as we go through this. They don't feel a need. They've scaled back. Scaled back does not mean quit. But they don't feel that they need to go out of this certain area.
And he also specifically said there's areas that they want to revisit. Mm-hmm. So why is that? It's disturbing to me that they think the children may not be alive, but the RCMP are really good at this, big searches and investigations, and so they know something we don't, and we have to trust them that hopefully these kids will be found alive, and they'll, if possible, they will do so.
Is it possible one of the areas they're going to go back and research is the children's home and the property surrounding?
It could well be. It could be specific areas in that turf that maybe there's water, culverts and things like that. I don't know. I'm only guessing here. But they're pretty careful to how they worded it all, and which makes me think, once again, from an investigative perspective, they know something we don't, which is almost always the case. But the investigation, the search always happen in parallel. Mm-hmm. But in this case, it appears that it seems to be narrowing down to a point that we're going to know something soon, and fingers crossed it's good news, but they're not holding out a whole pile of hope at this point, unfortunately.
Okay, and that was 6 months ago. And they haven't gone back on anything they've said. You know what I mean?
No.
They might have added some new things here and there. And Kent did have a point last week when he said, when we get the redacted paperwork, it's already been floating around their office for a good 2-3 months.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Denise said Daniel was on Mike Demand last night. She said Daniel only said that the ship had sailed between him and Malaya, as if someone asked. I think he's still holding a flame for her, but that's just me. She said she asked if they communicated and he didn't answer. Well, I have a feeling that even though they think that they have been cleared, if it's like any other case on the planet and they each could be involved, they might have been told not to speak to each other.
Yes, that's right. And I mean, they're all suspects until proven otherwise. Like all three of them that were on the property.
Let's see. So he put this up last week, and the context points to him talking to Malaya. So that's why I think it's odd that he's making the rounds to tell everyone that that ship has sailed and they're not going to get back together. Okay. He said, I love her more than anything. That will never change. I'm waiting for that chance to relive our first date over waterfalls and a walk on a big island beach with the Daniel you first met. She will know what that means. So why is he fucking around on Facebook and shit with this stuff and then going on all these other channels saying that ship has sailed? I like my idea of the Nova Scotia Bachelor better than him going around bothering people's freaking dinner time saying stuff like, that ship has sailed. Okay. That's right up there with me and Chrissy not being friends. We got our friend Kent Corbett backstage, everybody. Well, welcome, Kent. How's it going? How was your week, man?
Oh, not too bad. Just getting over some sickness.
What's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just
You got the flu?
no. I had a UTI, so setting in.
Well, you better get some antibiotics for that. Those suckers hurt.
I just finished that. On the outgoing now. Sorry.
Huh? Hello? Can you hear me, Jeannie?
I can hear you. I think we lost Kent.
He's
No.
there. No, it's just he doesn't have much of a signal. Instead of 3 green dots, he's only got like half of one.
Okay.
So Kent, what do you think about Daniel going around talking to all these different YouTubers? He must be asleep right now because I'm live. Just talking about how him and Malaya, that the ship has sailed, but he's in the Facebook group saying he wants to relive their first date. What do you think's going on, Kent?
I think that's old news. Like he's out there stating that that's sailed now, or whatever the terminology that he wants to use, but I don't think that's a situation.
You think they're back together? Because see,
No. I don't think.
this was
I
just
don't think they're. Yeah, I don't think they're back together. I don't think he'd be looking to get back into that. Maybe, but in my opinion, I wouldn't think.
Okay, so and we're going to go to the search interview here in a second because you piqued everybody's interest about it last week. What is up with this Chrissy Travers? I mean, we know Daniel's all over the place. Okay, so she says she's a private investigator. She had a disagreement with that Please Bring Me Home organization. They see it a different way. You know, there's a difference between 2 weeks notice and I'm going somewhere else and someone packing up your shit on a Friday saying your check's in the mail. You know what I mean, Kent? It seems like that we have a difference here. So she seems to have Belinda convinced of some things that just from what I'm hearing from other Canadians are legally impossible. What do you think about that, Kent?
What do you mean illegally impossible?
Maybe Jeannie can explain it better. I don't want to say it wrong because I'm not from there. Jeannie's muted. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to talk to her about Jack and Lily. And she accuses me of spreading lies about her. I don't know this woman. That's a little far-fetched, don't you think? Jack and Lily are the focus here. So she says, this is Chrissy Travers. Are you spreading lies about me because I won't accept your friend request? Nothing personal. It's just said, I don't know you. Sorry. Now, mind you, she's a private investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Does she think that maybe I could have a tip for her? What's the deal, Kent? I have talked to many private investigators over the year. They are what I call first ringers, meaning they're going to take your call. Even if it's some psychic bullshit, they're going to take your call. But I hope Belinda sees this. Oh, I just didn't want to accept your friend request. I just don't know you. You don't need to know me. You're a private investigator. That's your job. So I say to her, yeah, sorry. Real ass hurt about not making a friend a gazillion miles away. Yeah, I thought we were going to have lunch every day together. Shoot. No, I thought that you were in this for Jack and Lily. So be blessed. This is a very bad thing for Belinda, that she is putting her eggs in this basket with this woman who won't even talk to someone on the internet when she is supposedly the private investigator. Anyone find that to be just a little bit odd, or am I just way overthinking?
Well, you might be overthinking, but like she was a investigator with PBMH and then got taken off the case, right? So I would say that she's probably working on her own.
She
She
is working on her own, but she is not affiliated with Please Bring Me Home anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but I don't think you have to be like, the more eyes on the case, the better.
Absolutely.
In any situation of whether you're still with an organization or as Belinda states, she's now helping Belinda's lawyer. Like, that's what I seen on Facebook.
And that's a good thing. I'm just really afraid, as fragile as Belinda is. And she's a tough lady. She's an awesome lady. She's a sweet lady. She obviously is the most heavily affected by Jack and Lily's disappearance. And I don't think she understands the ins and outs of this. How could she? It's not like you have 2 grandchildren that go missing all at once in one day ever in your life. How could she? However, when we're talking about a private investigator that doesn't want to take tips unless there is money involved with it, I think maybe that might be something Belinda needs to think about. And she clearly put it in that thread. Oh, sorry, I don't know you. What did you think I was going to do? Add you to my birthday list and find out what your favorite color is? What the fuck did you think? This is about Jack and Lily. I don't know what planet you have to be from to think that any of that made sense. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see her asking to give her money.
Oh, that's beside the point.
To take your tip. Like as far as I'm concerned, anybody who has any tips, and if they think that they're any credible to the information to the case, they whether there's a PI working the case or not, they should be calling them into major crimes.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Right?
100%. So that brings me to my next point. If she's too goddamn lazy to even check Facebook, how many tips are being sent to Chrissy Sue Brown that are not getting to where they need to go?
I'm hoping none. I'm really hoping none, and they all go to the RCMP is what I'm really praying and hoping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where people were directed, and I'm sure she has stated that herself, like in different posts when she was still with PBMH.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I don't see why that would change the fact after now that she's not with PBMH.
Well, and also, I mean, nobody should be leaving a tip with a Facebook cop anyway. I agree with Rena Gale. And Rena Gale's thinking this is innocent enough. Like, the lady just may not know what she's doing. because she said, I don't see it like that. I think she just doesn't answer friend requests. And you have to send her a friend request, or if not, your message, your private message won't go through. And that's the reason I even hit that. I don't care about her pictures and what the weather's like, or her last vacation. I don't care about that. I was told that she's working on the Jack and Lily case. I reached out to her, and she makes this big to-do for Belinda to see, going, oh, are you just making up lies because I wouldn't take your request? And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I believe that if she's looking into excuse me, Jack and Lily, then that's where she should stay, with Jack and Lily on that case. Not go behind the scenes and start doxing people and causing all this drama with people. That is not her job. Her job is to be a PI and do Jack and Lily's case.
But I think figuring out who is who, like Jeannie, yourself, for whatever reason, there's an awful lot of people out there in this case that aren't using their real name. So you gotta find, if you want to find out real information, you gotta know if it's coming from a real account or just somebody spreading information that they're hearing somewhere else, right?
But
and as a
why would
private
it matter?
investigator, but I mean, as a private investigator, you would know how to take care of that. She doesn't have to take anyone's friend request, but I mean,
No.
her page clearly says she is a private investigator. We are hearing that she is there for Jack and Lily. So, like I said, she doesn't have to open herself up to be Facebook friends with anyone. Who? Just read the message. Hi, my name is Brooks. I have a podcast on YouTube. Blah blah. That's basically what it said. But instead, she decides to go in front of Belinda yesterday, mind you, and say that I'm making up lies about her because I won't be her Facebook buddy. Woo! Woo! I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't go over well with a lot of people.
I believe that whether you have a fake Facebook account or not, if it's a tip, it should be looked into. This is why they have Crime Stoppers. You can post anonymously. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your information, but they do look after the tips.
Sure.
So I don't think it really matters if a person has a Facebook account that's fake or not.
Well, and I mean, if history is any judge, anonymous tips, because they feel they're more protected in what they're saying, have cracked a lot of cases. Now, Rena Gale said this is her first time here. Everybody, we got a new friend named Rena Gale. Hey, consider becoming a member, and we are live every morning at 9 a.m. Central. Everyone say hello to our new friend, Rena Gale. All right. That is always so exciting. I love when people tell me that, hey, first time hanging around here. So, Kent, now you have said that we really need to look at these news clips. I think that's how you said it, regarding when they stopped the physical search and went into investigative mode. So, before you came in, we were going through one of the clips. What stuck out to you when they announced that they were scaling back?
Well, that's normal, and they'll only search so long, and like when they talked and had that press conference, like they said that if the kids had wandered off into the woods, because that was at like 6 or 7 days later, the likelihood of them being able to survive in the woods would be unlikely.
Well, yeah, I gathered that too. Okay,
But
let me place.
that was 6 days in. We're now 6 months in, and I think most people don't believe at all that they wandered off into the woods.
I think that was the likely assumption in the beginning, but that seemed to go away pretty quick, especially when locals such as yourself were explaining the terrain and how cold it gets at night and everything like that.
Well,
Anything to add,
yeah,
Gina?
like it's the terrain, because like how rough it is, how many trees are down because of the fallout after Fiona, and like these children just wouldn't go very far in the woods. And then if you do listen to Daniel and or Malaya stating about how they didn't like being wet and stuff, like it rained almost all week, not hard or anything. Friday morning was only 3 degrees and a foggy mist. And then Friday night, it absolutely poured and was cold and windy and everything else. So, like, for them to, like, I don't think as close as the searchers were on their tails
Yes.
from the time when they were reported missing, I think if they would have wandered off into the woods, I think the searchers would have found them.
Well, and no pun intended. I think that ship has sailed. They have done all but come out and said that they're not going to spend any more time in the woods, if you know what I mean. But they do mention in this clip something about a perimeter, and that's what I want to talk about for a second, and then we'll get to. Oh, go ahead, babe.
Can I just jump in there for a sec? Jack, or sorry, not Jack. Excuse me. Daniel and Janie even said that they had to literally carry Jack through the woods.
Yep.
So he would not, if he was out on his own, he would not get very far.
No, I don't believe so.
No, definitely not.
And I believe her. Okay, hold on. Sea Legal Canada. I tell you what, you guys make this show so easy. Like, we could seriously just, put up a title and just all the interaction and everything going back in the conversation just keeps it going. I love it. Sea Legal Canada said they are hidden either. That is so ridiculous. That's BS by Darren Geddes, a.k.a. Durwood O'Grady. Do you know him very well, Kent?
I've learned to and got to know him since the case study. Yeah, I didn't beforehand, but
I don't see how any level of intelligence, IQ, would honestly think at this juncture in the game, so be it, poor choice of words, that they're seriously being hidden out anywhere. That just doesn't seem plausible at all. Maybe the first couple of weeks as they're getting their ducks in a row, you could slip one right under, the police's nose, but not now. And I mean, everything I have seen, the guy is full of shit and everything has been misproven. I can't believe he's not in trouble in some capacity.
The narrative that he ran with that, the ship has sailed.
The ship has sailed. The ship has sailed. Well, AB, who is, he lives in Canada. What is he? I think he's around Toronto, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to go visit him or anything. He's not on my Christmas card list, even though he is a major fan of mine. He likes me so much that he blew up a picture of my stomach when I was leaning over at a conference and put it on his community wall. I didn't know if I was supposed to print it out and autograph it and send it to him. I wasn't sure, but it was a defining moment in my life. So this is what he had to say. He clipped this from our friend Justin.
Oh, Oh my God. Dirty Durwood, old Darren Geddes. Daniel and Kenton Janie's buddy. Can you believe what it is that he has posted on Facebook? Think about how stupid this guy is.
Okay, Durwood said, are you aware of all this that was going on the last few days, Kent?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm aware of it. I don't pay much attention to it.
You're a smart man. You're a smart man. Just like,
AB don't like me either, so.
Does he even like anybody? Like, seriously, because I know he don't like me neither.
He likes people that agrees with him, so
That's
I don't know.
about it. That is about it.
Yeah, okay, so be it. All right, so Durwood, to anyone who gives a crap, ... I'm just as convinced as ever, if not more, that Jack and Lily are being cared for by a native group of people who are concerned about protecting children. That kind of seems sort of slanderous to say this native group of people are harboring endangered children.
Oh my God.
You could look at it that way, but I think Darren just gets
Drunk.
No, I don't think whoever said drunk. I don't think he drinks. He gets to aggravate it, and then he exaggerates and he may know more than what I know and what I suspect I know, I guess is the way that we all got to put it. Because we all have our own speculation of what may have happened, and eventually we'll find out what happened.
Sure.
And, but I don't think the entity, I wouldn't believe that the entity of an indigenous tribe or reserve would ever take on the liability and culpability that would come to hiding them, as people say, with the entity unknowing. I would think that if something like that was going on, it would have to be individuals doing it, not necessarily a group of natives or anything like that, because the tribe wouldn't want, if they were found out to be hiding children and stuff, then they would be accepting culpability for search costs, right?
Well, you would think.
And we all know where that's at now, so.
And not to mention the RCP are able to go on a reserve.
Oh, on the reserve there, that's where the RCMP detachment is. There's not a question of that.
That's right.
But the where I think people look at, and this is where myself looks at it, is all the, whether you want to call them battles, fights, discussions, court cases over their different treaty rights, whether they're if they're willing to fight for they fight for their land, they fight for their fisheries because they have those rights.
Yes.
So what I say is if they're protecting two children, how far they would go. Because right now it's when Malaya made her first interview, she and then comments through Belinda, she was asked, well, who are you protecting the kids from? And that's CPS. So is it that she's trying to protect them from the provincial CPS or indigenous CPS? We don't know none of that stuff, right? And the CPS stuff is all like it'd be under publication ban, and anything that happened in the past is all sealed. Like, you don't get those documents stating the facts of what happened in a CPS case.
That's absolutely right.
Okay, so I have a question, and like I said, I don't live there. So I live in Oklahoma, and it's all Indian territory. Okay, and you hear the word sovereign quite a bit. That sovereignty does not cover crimes.
Nope.
And kidnapping would be a crime. Now, I know you mentioned sovereignty. So let's say that the kids have not seen their mother since May. They're all over the news in that area and Elston, other places as well. And that
But
they
not really. Like, I think Jeannie could tell you too. Like, the only time the news seems
not-
to be covering the case.
I'm not finished. I'm just saying it's known. Okay, it's known.
Yep.
So and we're talking millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in government tax money to find these two babies. So does their sovereignty make that a-okay?
Nope.
Okay. I just didn't know the laws there.
No.
I don't
Not
see
at all.
anybody doing that. That's just me though. And
The battle that is going on, and whether it has direct factor onto Jack and Lily's case or not, but and we don't, other than the initial court hearing, the only thing we know is that it is Indigenous CPS battling provincial CPS or federal CPS, whatever you want to call it, on jurisdiction of who should deal with children of status. And once that gets settled, then they'll look at Meadows' custody.
so
But Meadows' custody won't be settled either until there's a resolution, I believe, in the Jack and Lily case.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about that. Daniel's in the chat. Daniel, I put the link down if you want to come up, maybe, shed some light on these things. So then we go back to Malaya's scared of CPS. So are we led to believe that Lily and Jack were abused because Meadow is accounted for? We know where Meadow's at.
Yep.
We're only scared.
I don't know what she meant when and that's the question that I asked on Sunny's and other channels, is when she said that to Belinda, what did she mean? She's the only one that could tell us that.
I mean, if you're worried for 2, you'd be worried for 3.
Yep.
It's not a good look to have any child missing. Okay, let's go back to Durwood. By the way, there's a poll up if you guys want to tell me what you think, and there's a link floating around here. Feel free to grab it.
Oh, he must be up late drinking and thinking. This guy. Oh, listen, everybody. Listen, I'm standing fast. I'm standing on business here.
Okay. Durwood says, if I'm correct, and this is true, could you please consider doing another good deed? Please anonymously provide proof of life and well-being of the children to the Canadian public. Was he watching that movie Ransom with Mel Gibson?
Don't have a clue. You'd have to ask him.
Oh, I would love to, baby. I'd love to. No need to disclose anything about the location or anything, because we're not really looking to fucking find them. We just want a cool Polaroid. So we don't need to know where they're at. Just send us a picture. Okay. All right. He's in charge. No need to disclose the location or anything else, because I believe you are doing the right and humane thing. You're off the hook with Durwood. If you would consider this goodwill gesture, it might quiet the public and shut down all these sick, lying podcasters. Not talking about me. Making money while accusing many innocent people of murdering these two children. No accusations here. I'm very honest to say, I don't know what the hell happened. Then the courts will have to decide on the jurisdiction issues your people are demanding changes to. And I agree with your demands. Please consider this request in goodwill. Thanks, Darren Geddes. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a lot to unpack. I don't know where to start. Daniel can help. Daniel, you want to grab the link, buddy? Is this his friend? Is Durwood his friend? I forget some of the connections. No, Durwood is Malaya's friend, correct?
No, Darwood is Malaya's cousin.
Cousin,
Second
yeah.
cousin removed.
All right. Okay. So he wants a proof of life, so he can't ask Malaya to get that for him?
No, because I don't think that she has the kids. Right? So how would Malaya?
But wasn't he like 80 or 90% sure in the beginning he knew who took the kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's well, I think he said 1000% ironclad, right?
Yeah.
But stuff evolves. That was at like 6 weeks. We're at 6 months now. So
Okay.
I believe what he said back when he was on Sunny's show. I believe that he would say some of that is still his belief, but other things have changed.
Okay.
But they haven't found the kids, so if he is so certain that he knew who took them.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Jeannie, because I understand what Kent is saying when he said, things have changed. Well, no, they're still missing.
Yeah.
Just because Durwood.
Yeah, but the information that you're working with, as far as if you believe that they were taken, if that's the word you want to use, that information can change, same as anything else can
But
change.
that was
And-
Darwood's words.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm just telling you from talking to him on a regular basis since then, that some stuff that he said back then, as far as he thought of who, I would say may have changed come 6 months rather than 6 weeks.
Okay. And Daniel said it's been over 200 days. I don't think at this point they are on any reservations. So
No,
agree.
I wouldn't think they'd be. I wouldn't think they'd be on a reservation. Nope.
Nope.
I can't see the chat.
Well,
I don't believe they were even on a reservation. Honestly, I don't believe they were.
No. Like I said earlier, I don't think a reservation as an entity would want that culpability or liability.
either way, if Malaya doesn't know where they're at, Daniel doesn't know where they're at, no one knows where they're at, that'd be called kidnapping, and there's no sovereignty to be okay with that. Sea Legal Canada said, and why is Darren so invested? I have a question about that as well. Are him and Malaya, Daniel can answer this. I don't want speculation on this because a lot of stuff's getting stirred up for no reason. We got Chrissy Travers, who, I don't know where to start. There's a lot of content there. And of course we have Durwood.
Durwood.
Okay. So this is a fair question. Why is he so invested? I mean, I understand that Malaya is his cousin. Why is he willing to risk everything? Something's off. Okay, were him and Malaya, were they considered to be like close? I mean, was he like, godfather to Lily and Jack? I mean, for him to come out with these um, these theories, and they're 100% like ironclad. I mean, it's a fair question. Why is he so invested? I've got cousins too. They would give a rat's ass what's going on in my life.
But if your cousins went missing, would you be looking for them and doing anything you could do to find them?
Oh, I would 100% cooperate with
Wow.
them. I damn sure would. Daniel said to avoid Chrissy. I do need to know more about this. Oh, Daniel said it's because Patty is close with Darren. Okay.
Yeah, Patty is close with Darren, and that's
Okay. So
his
that
first cousin, right?
Okay. So that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I know that number one, he's a racist.
Woo!
He's talking about people of indigenous heritage in a way that's so stereotypical, and the stereotype in this is he's just making it up, but he's labeling, they're off with kids of their own ilk, of their own kind. There's barely any native blood in the kids. Cody's their father. Malaya's only part Indian, so they're got a fraction of native blood in them, and he's off trying to portray that the kids are somewhere on the reservation, hidden away, being taken care of people who are just well-meaning and well-intentioned, like have just walking out of the Davidian era. Did I need to say Davisian? Anyway, that they've walked out of some other era in time. Listen. Oh.
Yeah, Daniel, here's the link. I'm sure you got a lot of stuff going on, but I need to know a little bit more about this Chrissy chick, because if people are on the side of Jack and Lily, people that are twisting things around in Belinda's ear are no way, no in my book.
To anyone who gives a crap, I'm just as convinced as ever, if not more, that Jack and Lily are being cared for by a native group of people who are concerned about protecting children. So they're so concerned, they're so radicalized. In order to protect children, they go and kidnap them, they abduct them, and keep them hidden away from the rest of the world and society, because that's just...
Have you guys ever seen that movie? It's got Casey Affleck in it, Morgan Freeman. It's called Gone Baby Gone. And Morgan Freeman and his wife, they kind of trail CPS, bad home lives, and things like that. And they abduct the children, they homeschool them, they just have the life of Riley out there. But now that is a movie, okay? That is a movie. That's something that somebody put pen to paper and they made a novel. It's a great movie. Someone did a screenplay. This is a little too Hollywood for me, what Durwood is doing. Patty and Malaya's cousin, whatever. The whole, I don't need the location. I just need a proof of life picture to quiet down the public. Yeah, they wouldn't say a word about that, would they? They'd be like, oh, cool, they're alive. Let's go do something else. Durwood got us a picture. That would be insane. That would be an atomic bomb on the internet.
Oh my God.
Right.
I think some people forget that this is like real life. These are real kids. They are really missing. I think a lot of people are forgetting that fact.
Yeah.
And it's sad and it's pathetic.
Okay, here we go. Ginger's mom said, I think Darren forgets about the 60 scoop where the RCMP and Canada government took First Nations children away from their families? What? Learning. You know anything about that?
That's the residential school disaster, right? The tragic when
Children matter.
Canadian government went into homes and
Yeah.
made the natives send their kids off to
Mhm.
like private schooling and stuff, and then they like out west there was a bunch of them
that died.
that turned up like
Dead.
they died for whatever reason, whether it was
Hmm.
accidents or intentionals or
Yeah.
starvation or anything. Like no one really knows the full causes of death.
Hmm.
But they're a few years ago, and that's where the Every Child Matters
Yeah.
movement came from,
Hmm.
is because they found all these unmarked graves on these residential schools, which the government back in the 50s and 60s
Yeah.
went in and took the native children and put them in these schools,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, Cassie says, I know what happened to these babies. Nope, no one does. But I do know that Durwood feels very manipulative to me. He came out as Malaya's cousin, but we now know he's much closer to Daniel, with him being so close to Jordan. That also,
Jordan is his son.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Seems like-
but I don't think the Jordan has anything to do with the case. Like the stuff that's been on the channels the last few days, like that was checked out back when it was reported the first week or two in and deemed to be not relevant, I guess is the word. Like when they talked about it in the documents, they didn't even bring it up.
Yeah, it was there was
There
It
was a
wasn't-
reported sighting, but it was never ever confirmed by the RCMP that yes, okay, it was these people at this time.
it was confirmed that it was not Daniel, Malaya, and Jack and Lily.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was confirmed that it was not them.
yeah. But like I say, and that's what I mean, like all this stuff from back, say, in the first 6 to 8 weeks that's coming back out now, like, yes, okay, it's all right to revisit the information to see if we missed anything.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, fresh eyes. You know.
But to talk about this tip as if it was brand new and we never heard it and we don't know if it was checked out as it has been the last few days on different channels, is just as much irresponsible as anything else. Like
right
it seems
now,
it seems to be a distraction for some people.
it's all a distraction.
It's all a distraction. The
every
private
single-
investigator, all of it's a distraction.
Exactly. Every single thing that's going on right now is a distraction.
Yeah.
We got Chrissy, we got Darlene, we got
Mhm.
all these new stories that are coming out, and none of it has to do with Jack and Lily.
No, and I mean, I get that Durwood for some people is what you call a fan favorite. I don't know how much of all of this you watch or keep up with, or you just grab the clips. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. You're not missing much. He does his best to keep his head above water and stay relevant, even if it is going back to something he said back in June. So this isn't somebody just scratching and going, oh, I forgot about this old bone. Let me pull it out again. They're doing these things.
Yeah.
Yes, so much better of a lifestyle, and that's actually a thing. And this idiot in capitals, he must be so hammered up, and I say thank you to them for that! Double exclamation point. If I am correct and this is true, could you please consider doing another good deed? Please anonymously provide proof of life and well-being. There you go, Kent. There, you can go anonymously submit some tips, letting everybody know that the kids are okay, but they're just being held away from society, kidnapped, abducted. But they're well-intentioned. Everybody should look elsewhere. Everybody should go on about their business. The kids are just fine. You're such a moron, dude. please anonymously provide proof of life and well-being of the children to the Canadian public. Well, not to the RCMP. No need to disclose anything about location or anything else because I believe you are doing the right humane thing. So he thinks the right humane thing would be to go and abduct children in this sense. I told you the dude's a child predator. Durwood, Darren, you're talking like someone who loves.
That's a big accusation to make. Do we know anything inappropriate in old Durwood's past that he has done anything to a child? Because his name pops up in that context a little too much for me to be comfortable with. Anybody know? Anybody heard anything on the street? We are certainly not going to accuse if we don't know something.
There's nothing that I know of.
Okay. Well, and you live right there. You would have heard something.
Well, no, like you like if somebody has those charges, like
Sure.
we get notified when they moved back into a community, but other than that, you like it's not like in the States where you get notified and you can watch them and whatever. Like they get as much, whether we think it's appropriate or not, they have as much privacy rights as any normal citizen does.
Yeah, not down
So,
here.
like I say, when they're released from prison or jail or anything like that, if they're when or wherever community they decide to live,
Mhm.
that community gets notified. But once they're notified, they're not kept up to date on their movements and stuff, right?
Oh, okay. I got you.
You can't go online and see that they have all those charges, like, or if they have any charges, or are they living close to a school, or like they don't list that information, right?
I got you.
To go and abduct children in this sense. I told you the dude's a child predator. Durwood, Darren, you're talking like someone who loves to diddle kids.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
If you would consider this good gesture, it might quiet the public and shut down all of these sick lying podcasters making money. Like Kent, we can make money on AdSense. We can talk about anything up here, Durwood, and we do. It just happens to be that you're the subject matter because you've made it that way. Look at how stupid you are.
I have to educate people from time to time when they start that. They're making all this money by talking about who's making what. Let's talk about the Canadian broadcasting media outlet.
They like all the news,
They're selling a lot of advertising, and I mean a lot. Don't get me going on TikTok. Don't get me going on Facebook and all the groups and everything. And the big one, the big enchilada in all of these cases, whether you're talking about a true crime case, a case that is from 30 years ago, or you're teaching people how to basket weave, and it is this. The net worth of YouTube. Durwood, you dumbass. 2 years ago, they were at 29.71 billion. Their stocks and everything, they're up to like over 30. So what a stupid thing to say.
well, like everybody makes money off of it, and like you look at the mainstream media companies, when they're selling their advertising, look at the most expensive time slot for advertising. It's always in or around the news hour.
Sure, bud.
Because people watch the news.
Well, you know that, but Durwood doesn't. So he's kind of like a Chrissy. He gets a hold of the computer. He's like, beep, beep, beep.
Well, I don't think he's the one that's saying, like, he's saying that YouTubers are making money, but like everybody is making money. Like the hardest one that I would see, like it's pretty hard to monetize but you can, and I understand that you can, but Facebook is, if you set it up appropriately and with your followers and whatnot and views for if you're posting videos and stuff, but just as a normal Facebook page, you're not automatically monetized. Where on YouTube, once you get enough followers and have enough view time, you're automatically monetized. And then if you, as a creator, chooses, they can choose to turn off monetization if they're doing something that is against the community guidelines and they don't want to be punished for it. Well, you can turn off your monetization on that and talk about whatever it is you want. So saying that one group is making money off of anything else is like just not looking at the way that everybody creates their revenue.
Okay, well, I don't think you got my point at all, but you were given a book report, and I wasn't going to stop you. By the way, a lot of stuff that you said about YouTube is not correct. Is not correct. But I wasn't about to stop you, dude. I mean, I wasn't, because you were on a roll. So what I'm saying is Durwood, within making all these distractions about these poor little babies out on a reservation, some sort of like Gone Baby Gone scheme, then he switches it, he deflects to everybody's making money off of this. And as I explained, he's an idiot. He doesn't know how it works. And he's got word vomit, word vomit, word vomit, word vomit.
Yeah.
Daniel is asking, I don't know who Sonny is. Who is Sonny? And who is Sonny given a percentage of earnings to? What's
Is Sonny
going on?
giving you a percentage?
Me? I don't know Sonny. Who the fuck's Sonny?
Is Sonny giving you a percentage? What does that mean? Giving who a percentage? What?
Who's Sonny? So like
Sonny Austin from Crime and Shame.
Oh, from Crime and Shame. So does she pay guests to come up?
I don't know. She doesn't mean.
No.
If that's what he's referring to.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
She sits for like for 4 or 5 hours a night.
Yeah, she can when she gets on a roll.
Oh yes.
okay. Well, that's how she runs her channel. That's how she runs it.
AdSense, we can talk about anything up here, Durwood. And we do. It just happens to be that you're the subject matter. Because you've made it that way. Look at how stupid you are. I can't get over just how dumb you are. If you would consider this goodwill gesture, it might quiet the public and shut down all these sick, lying podcasters making money while accusing many innocent people of unaliving these 2 children. Red flag. Then the courts will have to decide the jurisdiction issues. Your people are demanding changes too. Your people. Durwood, I hope you get your ass kicked by people on the res. And I agree with your demands. What demands? And I agree with your demands. Look at this. What demands? What the hell is this dude even on about? You must.
That is pretty funny because he's in no boat to make any demand to anyone. I mean, my goodness, that is crazy. Cassie said, and I agree with you, honey, 100%. Thank you for such a great comment. As long as they're bringing awareness and talking about the case, all the other does not matter. Okay, whatever. Cassie's like, I don't mean lies and nonsense, but advocating for the kids. You're exactly right. All the other stuff is just to sling mud over nothing. Great comment, Cassie.
Have been on a bender last night. Thank God the internet never forgets. Please consider this request in goodwill. Thanks, Darren Geddes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude. Oh my God. Sorry, I pressed play there. Oh my God. What demands? So now you're throwing it off to the ether that you're hoping some anonymous person submits some sort of proof of life? How are they going to do that? They're going to say a picture and say that they're alive? Everything's okay? Oh, look. It's just something new for you to push, you moron. And you're just going to submit? Oh, I agree with all your demands. You did the right thing by stealing these kids away from Daniel. Poor Janie was out in the trailer all last winter. We can't have that happening. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. What a maroon.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And Daniel's in the chat right now. He can answer for himself because the title of the show today is What is Missing from Daniel's Account of the Events? I think we can all agree from his vantage point and when he is speaking, and I'm not playing good cop, good guy, bad guy. I can't stand that in true crime cases. True. I don't mean nonfiction. So I don't do Team Daniel, Team Malaya, or, Janie Janie shouldn't have been watching the kids anyway. I'm not doing all that. Okay.
No.
So what is missing? We seem to have everything all neat and tidy for Wednesday, Daniel. Thursday, the accounts of the day have changed several times. And neither you or Malaya are on the same path as far as Friday, the day that they were reported missing. A very unusual day. So there's obviously something missing from when you met the dude on the day before. So is it something that the police are saying that you shouldn't talk about? Because I would totally respect that. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
We don't.
Are you afraid of getting Malaya into trouble? Are you protecting Malaya? Because that's what a lot of people seem to think, that you might still kind of hold a torch for her and you're protecting her. Because you have to admit, your story has changed a few times. And guys, let him answer. I want the answer. We don't need to be fighting with each other. There's got to be an answer there. All right, so let's get back to this.
In charge of the investigative side of this said there's things he couldn't say. At the same time, it's very, very intense and very thick area that they're searching, very difficult to traverse, even for trained adults, let alone children. So they've obviously...
Okay, Daniel said he's not protecting her. Okay, we can do it this way. I have no problem with this. So I'll just ask a question. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying. They're having their own conversations. You're talking to me. And just, if you can, answer. Why do we have different accounts of what happened on Thursday and Friday? And I'm not talking your account and Malaya's account. I expect that to happen. I really do in something like this for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How come your story has changed? And if it's something that is just between you and the police, please keep it that way. Okay, so he answered that. He doesn't care about Malaya. The only connection is Meadow. So think about that I asked, and then I have another question.
Made the decision that they don't believe the kids have got further than their perimeter, the area they've already searched. So they want to go back and research it. And he also specifically said there's areas that they want to revisit. Mm-hmm. So why is that? It's disturbing to me that they think the children may not be alive, but the RCMP are really good at this, big searches and investigations. And so they know something we don't, and we have to trust them that hopefully these kids will be found alive, and they'll, if possible, they will do so.
Is it?
Okay, again, that word, perimeter. Okay, so Daniel, I guess, doesn't want to answer that question. That's fine. I'm not going to get into it as long as, we have, a fluid conversation going on. So it is said that Malaya said to Belinda, I believe, that she was worried about CPS, which that might have been what lit the fire, the rumor fire under Durwood. Were you aware, Daniel, of CPS poking around? Or did you not know that CPS was in contact? And were you ever concerned about Meadow? Because I mean, Meadow is, your child with Malaya. Daniel said you have different accounts because everyone sees the world through their own. Well, I'm not talking about looking at an abstract painting and asking everyone's opinion. These are things you have said. And when your words change, it is not my perspective. It is you handing me your perspective, and it's different. I'm just asking. So if you've already answered this, I guess that ship had sailed for me and I missed it. So can you answer me now? Is it a police thing? Did you just remember something different? I don't know. Only you can answer it.
Possible one of the areas they're going to go back and research is the children's home and the property surrounding.
It could well be. It could be specific areas in that turf that maybe there's water, culverts and things like that. I don't know. I'm only guessing here. But they're pretty careful to how they worded it all, and which makes me think, once again, from an investigative perspective, they know something we don't.
I could agree with that. So Kent, you kept talking, well, you mentioned it several times last week about these different news releases about scaling back the search and stuff like that. Would you agree with this gentleman that's saying that, doesn't matter what they're putting out for social media, mainstream media, whatever you want to call it, that they just aren't telling what they know?
Oh yeah, like that's definitely the case. Like we can look at when we got the documents in mid-August.
Mhm.
They were already they were only current up to July the 16th. And everything basically that was released in the document originally, before the further on redacted stuff, but
Sure.
in the original release, pretty much everything that they put out was already out there known. Not necessarily to be fact, but part of the story. And then when they released those documents, then it corroborated everything that people were saying, right?
Some people.
And now we're in to 6 months, 3 months from the time when those was released. I wish we had another. Whether and that, like everybody says that they want documents. I don't care if we get documents or not, as long as we get the information in a press release of statements made by the RCMP as to be fact. Because once they confirm or deny something, then they're the ones that are doing the investigation, and they're the ones that we can follow.
Yeah, Daniel's.
But when there's no information,
Hold on. Yeah, I get that. I mean, I get all that. Daniel said, he said he put everything out before the docs were dropped, is what Daniel said. So Daniel, did you think about that question I had? Did you know that CPS was causing a fear and a panic in Malaya? Or did you think it wasn't that big of a deal? No judgment here. I don't know what was going on with all of that. Just, some speculation and some other stuff. But anyway, and were you concerned at all about if they were checking on Jack and Lily that they could potentially, and they did, take Meadow?
I believe that the police always have something that's very close to their chest, and they will not say what it is. Until somebody starts talking.
Well, and he can answer this. This really doesn't have.
No. I'm just saying in general.
In general, yeah. They always have more information than what the public does, especially in Canada, because we don't we don't get the updates on a case like society in America does.
No.
Like our
No.
privacy
Yeah,
laws
we've gone
block
through.
a lot of that.
Yeah, we've gone through that, but Daniel doesn't need an update. Okay, Daniel was living there, so I'm talking to Daniel. I'm not asking if Uli is upset that she's not getting the information. Daniel, this is his life. He's living it. And so when I asked him, were you ever worried that CPS, considering they were concerned about Lily and Jack, you damn sure know they're concerned now. Trust me, there's been a lot of Lily and Jack meetings at your local Child Protective Service office. Were you ever worried that they were going to possibly start looking into your daughter, Meadow? This isn't a press release. This is his life. That's what I'm asking.
That's right. It's his life.
And if he doesn't want to answer, or if he was told not to, it's just a curiosity thing for me. So we have all this going on because, CPS is really looking at Jack and Lily, but you have a baby there as well. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think, basically what you're saying is, were you just as concerned about Meadow as you were with Jack and Lily?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
I'm not going to answer for him, but yeah, what you say makes sense.
Mhm.
Which is almost always the case. But the investigation, the search always happen in parallel. But in this case, it appears that it seems to be narrowing down to a point that we're going to know something soon. And fingers crossed, it's good news. But they're not holding out a whole pile of hope at this point, unfortunately.
It's interesting that your experience and instinct tell you that they're narrowing in on something soon. One thing else that stood out was that Major Crimes is still part of this investigation. They were at that press conference on Wednesday. What does that say, that this is a search and rescue / search recovery, but also that Major Crimes is involved?
Well, Major Crimes would always be involved with missing children because either they're lost, which is certainly what they've been hoping to be the case, and then find them alive, or they've met with foul play in some way. And there's a couple of different avenues that could go, either a stranger abduction or someone that is known to them. And so Major Crime would always be following that up until they really have proof one way or another as to what's happened to these kids.
Yeah, Major Crime, not Major Chrissy. Major Crime, not Major Chrissy. Okay? We don't need Major Chrissy that gets her feelings hurt over Facebook friend requests. That's not the PI I would want. I wouldn't send that PI to find dog shit in my backyard. That's just me. You do whatever you do, okay?
Oh my God.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't blame Daniel for not answering that last question, because that could be sort of a loaded question if it gets back to investigators.
Well, not only that, also with CPS as well. I mean, we're talking about CPS. Everything about CPS is confidential. So, I mean, it's understandable that he does not want to answer that question.
Oh, sure. And Kat said, she goes, I actually appreciate that Daniel is here in chat. At least someone is facing the music, good or bad, when it comes to Jack and Lily. And I'm talking about how Daniel is treated. I don't know the dude. I don't have, I don't see Malaya being anything more than a wet blanket. And that is true. I mean, out of everybody, the mama should be watching every bit of this, every single bit of it.
Yeah.
This is about your children.
Yeah, and Daniel's the only one that's ever spoken out. And he's not even their biological father.
Okay, hang on. Daniel said CPS did have a conversation with me and Malaya. They came to evaluate Lily and Jack because teachers had issues with their behavior. CPS gave Malaya support phone numbers. So he's saying that's the whole, so then there's nothing to be scared about. So that's just another, if this is accurate, just another BS.
Just like all the other BSs.
Really, it's more wet wood in the fire. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If the teacher said there might be a problem, they're like, here's some support phone numbers, bye. Then this whole, she had to hide them from CPS is bullshit.
Yep.
Thank you for answering that.
Yipper.
And the question would be is why would she state that?
She said it. Exactly. See, now we're getting somewhere.
Exactly.
All right. So now, okay, so last week, Kent, when we were talking about all the, the scaling back, you kept saying if you really listen to it, if you really listen to it, if you really listen to it, it tells you everything you need to know about the case. Okay, well, I listened to it to where even like my ears went crossed. What are you saying that they're saying that basically sums it all up? And of course, this is your opinion only.
Well, like right off the bat, the major crimes guy says that they know that they're dealing with Indigenous rights and they'll be observed in appropriate matters. They realize that if the kids wandered in the woods, they're unlikely to be alive. Like if you take all the stuff that they said and the stuff that they didn't say, and then you look at where we're at this point now, that the dogs, the HRD dogs are in. The biggest question that I have from the start, which can't be fixed now.
Okay.
But once they brung in the HRD dogs, they told us that the original dogs, search dogs, that were on site at the beginning were air scent dogs. And the way that they said that air scent dogs they're not specific scent trackers, which would mean that they would get an article of clothing of the children, get their scent, and then start tracking them. The dogs that were there were air scenters, and they look for like different or strange scents from what would be common like on the property. And the question that I have around that is how is that useful when we know that family states that the only ones that have been to the trailer in the last couple of years were Cindy and Wade. But yet all the other family and friends and members of the community that showed up on Friday and early part of Saturday to help search, like how are the air scent dogs supposed to pick up? In my mind, I don't know how the air scent dogs would pick up and track Jack and Lily when there's so many different scents there that haven't been there before.
Well, Daniel's in the chat. He said Malaya's side is trying to paint him as evil because he has no involvement in the disappearance. Okay, hold that thought. That means you have an idea who does. That's how I'm reading that. And he said that they use the best dogs on the province.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like in the beginning, now, when the kids went missing, the very first day they brought in scent dogs. The scents led them right to the end of their driveway. And wasn't Malaya standing there at the end of the driveway at 8:28 calling her mom?
Which is weird.
No, she did that from in the bedroom. She could get out. There's one spot, if you ask Daniel, he would confirm. But there's one spot if she went to the bedroom window, she could get out and get enough service on the Wi-Fi to call. And that call at 8:28 to her mother was a missed call. It didn't go through.
I missed that in the paperwork. And so you must have totally different training for, your dogs, or at least in this province, than that's, like known around, these parts, because he's saying that they didn't even give the dogs any like clothing to smell. He said they were looking for something unnatural. So what we have like unnatural dogs, they're like there's like drugs, money, guns. Okay, so I don't know what you mean by unnatural. Someone's have to explain that to me because, like I said, I'm not from there. But
Well, what they did is what they called it.
hold on. Why would they not have a scent of their clothing? How do they get their scent if they're
That's my question.
okay?
But when they brung the HRD dogs in from BC, they explained in the press conference of when they announced that they were coming, they explained that the dogs that were here originally in May were they called them air scent dogs. And I said to myself, what the fuck the use is the air scent dogs when you want to give them a specific scent of the two people that are missing and have them track it?
You're right.
Because like the air, from what I understand, like the air centers, the reason why they could pick up the scent to the end of the driveway would be because that's where Jack and Lily walk back and forth to go to the bus stop every day. Like the scent would be bedded in the ground more there than it would be anywhere else.
Even if it rained?
Yep. Like because they can smell 30 and 60 feet underwater, right? The HRD dogs.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I don't need to know what the dogs are doing. I really don't. I'm just how do you get a scent without a shoe, a sock, a shirt?
Exactly. But none of us knew this.
So that was a total waste of time. I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I say too. Like, why wouldn't you bring in? And like I know we don't have the dog capabilities that like they're just general tracking dogs, like that the canine units of the RCMP, like that's what they say. They call them air center dogs, and like I say, this is what we were told from the dog handlers when they held the press conference to bring in, and I think it was a shock to everybody except for the people that know the dogs. Because I think everybody would have expected that they would have took an article of clothing from the children, let the dog sniff it, get their scent, and then send them tracking. And from what I understand, no, that's not the way that those dogs had worked. So I think that's a failure.
I wasn't expecting all the dog stuff today. I was just gonna rip on Chrissy for a while and talk to Daniel, and I'm learning all kinds of shit. Okay. Daniel said, when you enter nature, there are no Jack and Lily smells. So if they smell something other than the woods, they lock on. So it's basically scent dog reverse.
Well, that would be all right for once you got in the woods, but not on the immediate property, because look at how many different things or people were there that day. Right? We're told that all these people don't go and visit, right? So the only two that normally went to visit, and however many times they were there, I don't know.
But
we know that Cindy and Wade had been there before. But if the rest of the family that came to help search was never there before, aren't they different scents?
I don't know. Makes zero sense to me, but I'm not the dog handler in Nova Scotia. Daniel,
I don't know either, but
I'm at a loss on this one. Daniel said only the movies use clothing. Well, no, they use it here. I mean, we just spoke about a case yesterday, Michael Vaughn. They used his shoe, and I think they also had a T-shirt to get his scent for the dogs. I think they used a shoe and something else for Summer Wells. They had to use something else I didn't want to get into with Harmy Montgomery. So no, it's not just in the movies. But thank you, Daniel. Thank you for playing along. Shenanigans, thank you so much for the super sticker. She wants to know, Daniel, you're up. When and why did you take the interrogation course? That is interesting. Where would you take an interrogation course? Is this like through the mail, or is it like online? How does this happen? Does anybody know about Daniel taking an interrogation course?
I don't know about particular courses, but he stated in the last couple of weeks that he's taken several online programs.
Okay.
but he can answer specific ones and when as to when. But anyways, I gotta run. I have another appointment coming up, so
I know you're dead. I barely got any time with you today, Kent. Your dance card is full, buddy. So I'll get with you next week and we'll go over some more things. I really want to talk about the dogs now. So
see what we can do.
you guys, big round of applause for Kent. All right. Daniel says he has lots of courses, and he said, don't get him started on Cindy and Wade. I wish Daniel would tell me a little bit more about this Chrissy Travers, because I do feel bad for Belinda, because it just kind of appears from the outside looking in that, maybe somebody's pulling the wool over someone's eyes. I don't know.
I believe that if Chrissy is really dedicated to finding Jack and Lily and taking her job seriously, then I would suggest she do that and stay out of all the drama that is being surrounded by her. I think that it needs to stop. I mean, we're talking about Jack and Lily. We're talking about two small kids that are gone missing. This is what we're talking about. So anything else in between needs to stop.
Yeah. Indians that just go around and grab kids, and only two, not all three. I'm to the point now, I don't think that this CPS was a thing at all. I think Malaya, whoever removed these beautiful children, I don't think any of the things that we have discussed is the motive.
Nope. I don't believe it.
Daniel said the public doesn't know why Chrissy was really removed. I would love to know, because I think Belinda should know.
Well, obviously, it's quite obvious why she was removed, okay? She was doing her own investigation behind the scenes with Jack and Lily. And plus, she was asking all the people that are involved with Jack and Lily. She was questioning them. When this is nothing but an open investigation, she had no right to do that when she is with Please Bring Me Home.
So is that the story, Daniel? Because Daniel's saying nobody knows the real reason. What we can see seems like a very valid reason. Daniel's saying it's something else. So
I mean, it's clear on their website. They only deal with cold cases. They only bring in a private investigator for cold cases.
I heard
Sorry.
Oh no, sorry, I was putting chapstick on. Yeah, she's quite a private investigator. Thanks, Kim Robinson. Yeah, it's clear as day. I have their website up on my screen. So, but he's saying there's another reason. I'm all ears. Seems like we're being very vague. Has anybody picked up on that?
Well, I mean, if that's not the reason, then I'm completely shocked if that's not why. I mean, it's clear. I mean, it's clear that they don't deal with ongoing investigations. The RCMP do not want a private investigator involved in this.
And good for them. Ginger's mom said, yeah, Please Bring Me Home only does cold cases, not open investigations. I don't know, Daniel. I mean, is someone trying to stir something, Daniel? Daniel said she did a good job, but there's more detail. Okay, so Jeannie, you did a good job, but there's more detail. Should we hold our breath, or should we go ahead and call it a day and work on this next week?
I am not sure what I'm missing, but yeah, we can call it. We can call it a day.
Okay, I
mean, I can't dig any deeper than that. Like, I mean, it's clear, it's plain as day. If you look at what they do, Please Bring Me Home. If you actually look at what they do, it clearly states in there they only do cold cases. They only investigate cold cases. Investigate. That's the key word.
Investigate. Mhm.
They will search. They will do a search. Actually, they're coming to Nova Scotia this weekend to do a search for Jack and Lily.
But
November the 15th.
Yeah, but a search isn't investigation.
That is right.
That is right.
There's a difference.
Okay, Daniel said Chrissy was writing off. Here we go. Some rumors. Okay, Daniel said Chrissy was writing off the organization's name, which they can't be involved until it's past 3 years old.
There you go. That's exactly right. It's got to be a cold case. It has to be a cold case. And she was not. She went behind their back and she was doing this investigation out on her own behind their back until they found out what she was doing.
And they told Daniel that they didn't want to be involved, but Chrissy forced them in. Wow.
So my advice is to stop all the drama that's going behind the scenes here and deal with one thing only, and that's to find Jack and Lily. This is what needs to be done.
Loving Life is saying the same thing and wants to know why this woman is interfering. Hey, we got all day for that type of speculation. But I mean, we know why it's exactly how it was explained to me in the first place.
Yes.
The disagreement was the misrepresentation of what she was really doing there.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I think we're all good.
And I've talked to Please Bring Me Home
Mhm.
a couple of times, and they cleared a couple of things for me.
Oh, they're legit, but it's like anywhere else. Because you have one douchebag doesn't mean everybody is. You know?
No.
Yeah, they do great work. I mean,
Yes.
they do. I mean, I haven't heard anything bad.
Nope.
She knows this. She knows that she should have never tried to enlist their help when it's a clear rule of theirs.
Exactly.
After
She
3
kn-
years. And
She knew that.
yeah. But hey, maybe to some people it's water under the bridge now. I don't know. Kind of freaks me out, but you know, all we can do is just hope for the best and hope all of this stuff totally 100% works out for the betterment of the children.
Exactly. That's what matters.
100%.
Jack
All
and
right,
Lily
guys.
matter.
Jack and Lily are the ones that matter. All the other stuff, well, they had their chance and somebody failed.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be back here in about an hour. We're going to talk about another child that is missing out of California, Melody Buzzard. It's weirder and weirder and weirder every freaking day.
Oh, they let the mom go, eh?
They let her go, and
Let
it's
her go.
a lot of people are pretty PO'd about it. So we're going to talk about it here in about an hour. So you guys hit your reminders because this other one's going to have you really pissed off too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you guys are the best. See you back here in a little bit. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, Brooks.
Thank you, baby.